4 or 5 years, I've been feeling Palau calling me, and I've just been procrastinating, and it wasn't until this whole lockdown thing started that I finally I renewed my U.S. passport, and I was able to get a Palau passport, so I have dual citizenship now.
Oh, wow.
Um, so I've been now I'm doing the actual steps to get there, but they haven't opened flights yet, so it's probably gonna be a while till that happens, which is good because it'll give me some time to mentally prepare myself to go over, because I know it's gonna be a big culture shock for me, and I know it's gonna break me down in ways that's kind of scary, but in a good way. I think I need it, and yeah, so it's just it's gonna be part of the journey, the next season to go into.
That's so exciting. I feel like you really thought about this, and I feel like you really feel that calling. And
Oh
I've
man.
been feeling that too. And like, after finishing like my last film, I just always ask like, what's important or what's that next thing that I feel like I need to tell. And I've been feeling that about Palau, and it's just, especially when I went back last summer. And I just remember being on kayaks and just like going as far as I could in the cove, and just like having a moment
Man,
to
that's so
myself.
fun.
Yeah, and it's just, that place is just so different from any place in this world, and it's so like, I feel very grateful for how I was raised there and the people who took me in. So I feel that calling to share that, because sure, even my friends are like, this is different, like this is like no other way. I think a lot of kids grew up, and
Yeah.
it's just really exciting. And I know it feels really scary because you could do this journey wrong, or not really be fully present as you're going through it. But I just feel like it has so much potential of feeling like you're so alive.
Yeah,
So
I
much
think
to
I think I've been getting too comfortable here, like kind of grown into who I am here in Hawaii, as like what my role is here, as whether it's as an uncle or a cousin, brother, like I kind of know who I am here, but I don't really, like, I lack that connection to where I came from. So I think that's that next step. But I was speaking of like where you came from. I wanted to ask you about your movie, The Pit, because that was something that, like just the story alone, it was something that I could connect to personally, like with substance abuse, whether it's alcohol or ice or anything like that. But just the way you filmed it, like I wanted to ask you if you used any artificial lighting or if you just used all natural lighting. That, and also how did you do it in sequential order because of the sun, or yeah, I was just wondering about all of that.
he's so excited.
Sorry, I'm such a nerd.
No, it's okay. Well, the story itself came from not from my personal experience. I have family that struggle with these issues, but really it came from my daily work with Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center. I've done like video work for these. This is a nonprofit that does a lot with helping people who are struggling with addiction, and through that, I just learned a lot about the types of struggles people are going through and how hard it is to like connect with someone who's struggling with addiction. So I wanted to make a movie about that. But then in terms of the technical stuff, yeah, we shot it in 2 evenings with all natural light and just reflector. And
Nice.
it was I basically broke them. I knew exactly the shots I wanted. I knew exactly the angles. We basically had it completely figured out on paper, and
Wow.
I just prioritized the wide shots, and I did one wide shot on one day and one wide shot on the other day. So it was shot really out of order, based on the light. And the close-ups, we did it when it was a little bit darker, because it's easier to. They're just quicker to do, and they weren't as many moving parts. Because there's a couple really long takes. So I just wanted to make sure we did like the longest take on the very first day in case we had to redo it. And we did it in really, the whole movie, the actual shooting was probably like 5 hours of actual shooting. Yeah. But we spent a lot of time planning.
Okay, he says 5 hours, but I was there, and I was there at 5 a.m. Like,
yeah, we got there really early in the morning to take shots, and we shot for about 2 hours, and then we just waited. That was from like maybe 8 to 10, and then we waited all the way in the early morning. Yeah. We shot then from about 4 to 6:30.
Well, I think it was because of the time constraint that you had to shoot. He just was rehearsing the whole time that he wasn't shooting. Yeah. So by the time the sun was perfect, they just got it right.
Everything just...
Yeah.
Wow, man.
In like 2 takes. Yeah, but the one issue is it rained a lot on us, and we had to... Yeah, that was brutal. It rained when we were supposed to start. Like we had been practicing, and we were ready, and then it started raining. And so it took some of the time that we had, but yeah, it all came together. But I'm really proud of that film, and it's gone a lot of places and opened doors for me. And it's kind of it was cool to make something that was reflective of work that I'm passionate about. But we're talking all the time about the next thing.
Yeah.
I am very proud of that movie and love that movie, but it's also quite dark. It's quite dark, and
well, but it's an important story.
It's real, though. It's real.
It's real. It's real. But for the filmmaker, like when you make something, you have to keep kind of putting yourself back there when you talk about it and share it with people. And like, so now that it's been 2 years, over 2 years now. Since that we filmed that, it was end of August 2018.
Holy moly!
Yeah, but spending a lot of time in that headspace, it gets hard. It's not something I had considered until I made this movie.
Yeah, I remember us talking about like how we make these sad.
Your movie too, yeah.
We make these sad stories that are very like.
They're real though, but.
Yes, they're very real, and they're like emotionally tolling, and it takes a lot for someone to even go through that. But like, there's people who walk this earth who choose to not want to deal with those feelings that like come out when they watch it, and so they would go, "Why the hell should I watch this?" And like it's so hard to find an audience who are able to and willingly like access that emotionally trying to get out. So. At this point, we're just kind of like, we need like a fully dimensional person who has brightness at the same time struggles. So, like people like cope with hard things with like laughter and try and make things better. And I think we need some of that in our life.
Yeah.
So, like good vibes. We need good vibes.
Maybe a horror comedy, perhaps.
There you go.
I've actually never touched like the horror side of.
It might be a good cleanse to try something that different. Well, I mean, Palau movie though, I think is gonna have all those elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, I hope I'm there when you guys are there.
Yes, I was gonna say, I'm like, it just
the stars are aligning.
Yeah, the timing of everything, like us, we're even just waiting too.
Because we wanted to film that movie
like now
in fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the pandemic changed everything.
Yeah, and so when you're able to go, I mean, like hopefully by the time that happens, we can go too, and when you're ready, and I want to be able to like meet people and really like naturally have that relationship with people who want to be part of it, So it just takes some time. Nurture,
What about some of the your friends that you worked with or from school? Like, have you talked to them about it? And
Yeah,
are they like,
I remember the moment I was like, okay, this is happening. I wrote all my friends a long letter about like our life and our
that's awesome?
story and how like important it was, and they're all in. It's so funny because I told my aunt, like even when I was there, I knew I was like, I'm coming back. I'm gonna tell a story here, and I think my family there just didn't understand like the concept of script writing and planning and storyboarding. They started to film me during my whole trip there, and I was just like, why is there always something filming me? They're like, oh, it's for your movie. And I was like, no, I need to like write a script and I need to get actors and stuff. So I did.
That's the behind the scenes right there. That's
I
the
know. I guess that is what it is.
yeah.
But they're very supportive and
That's
always
awesome.
telling me, like my uncle who owns a dive shop there owns a boat, and he's like, when you're ready to come shoot your movie, just stay on our boat, you know. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm just really excited to like plant myself there and meet kids, because these are gonna be. I wish I could have my friends in it, and maybe they'll end up being like the parents or something, because they're much older now. But
Mhm.
now like they have kids, and it just gives like makes me really excited, because I think maybe they could be us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, and I have to find like a mini Filipino girl who has a Palawan accent or something. So one day. I'm so excited. I really hope we all end up. If we just get like the stars are aligning.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
I know. And then you're gonna write your new book.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Your second season.
I like yeah man. I didn't even know I was gonna write a book first of all.
Yeah.
Like
What was the timeline of
this
that?
thing is
Like, were you just
um
like you just wrote a bunch, and then like quarantine came along and you're like, I'm just gonna take all of this and make a book or something? How did
yes. So actually about maybe a year and a half ago, I started just typing up all my writings from my journals onto my computer just in case like something happened to my journals, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was reading through some of it and I was like, okay, some of this kind of feels like it fits together. Maybe I could turn this into something. And originally the title In Between Seasons I was reserving for an album that I wanted to make while I was like probably my junior year of high school. And I had like a couple of songs and I was like, oh, I want to make an album called In Between Seasons. And so I saved this title. Never recorded any of the songs or anything like that. Like never made it to that process. So I just kind of like dumped it. And then when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with all my writings, I was like, maybe I can publish it as a book. That way I can have the writings, you know, to myself and not have to worry about someone trying to copyright them or anything. And then I read a poetry book by Janae Eichel, and I just saw that like within the pages it was like pages of her journal just like slapped right in there, you know. And I was like, and some parts I was just kind of, I felt like she was speaking like from my story, and I was like embarrassed to read it, you know that I mean, like I was like, oh snap, she's talking about me, like I don't want to read this. And, and so I was like, you know what, like who cares if this is scary? Like obviously she's connecting with people through her stuff, so I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna try and make it turn into a book, put it out there. And then I wanted to add the pictures in with the with my journal writings posted over some of the pictures, and yeah, and like it just kind of came together. And I had help from a friend of mine and his son, who, you know, they're really good at like they're really good coaches, I would say, because they really know how to lead someone that's unfocused like me. So They really helped me through the publishing process, and